政府の実現を訴えるポール候補は徹底した外国への不介入主義でも知られていて、この日の集会では在日米軍の撤退を公約しました。
I would end the wars in the Middle East. I would bring our troops home, not only from the Middle East, I'd bring them home from Japan and South Korea, and take care of the people here at home.
さらに
Ron Paul is just in the news in Japan. I hope you noticed what they decided to take out of his speech, that he would end all of the wars and get troops out of Japan and South Korea. This is particularly important to Okinawa. Not only would it save tens of billions of dollars for the U.S. and the Japanese because they have this 70-30 relationship and who's paying for all this mess, the people of Okinawa have had it. They don't want any more bases. Moreover, it's what the Japanese people want. And Japan is a country culturally with a great sense of reciprocity, and Ron Paul would have great rapport with the Japanese people as president if he removed troops from Japan. It really is time to end World War II. It's totally unnecessary. Japan's a big boy, it can take care of itself. They don't need U.S. military peppering their islands. In fact, U.S. military bases all over Japan makes Japan more of a target, not less of one. The same with South Korea. The U.S. war games there last time had both Koreas shooting at each other with artillery. It's completely unnecessary. The U.S. needs to butt out because they make everything more chaotic. They're always pushing war. It's a complete waste of money. Let Asia deal with Asia. And the fact that this is on the news in Japan means they're reaching for it. They want President Paul. No one wants more U.S. bases in Japan. Japan should be sovereign over its own territory. They are an ally of the United States. It's no longer necessary to occupy parts of Japan, supposedly to protect it from North Korea or China. China's a major trading partner with Japan as well. They're not worried about North Korea. Let me show you something. This is what they're showing about North Korea. People starving. And unfortunately that is what is happening. We have trade restrictions against food, but they continue to send them things like steel and weapons and things that can be used for their military to uphold the dictatorship, to uphold that regime, but it's not helping the North Korean people. The way to resolve these conflicts isn't by more of the same, and this containment isn't neutral. People are starving to death. It's sadistic. Kim Jong-un's elder brother was caught trying to flee to Japan to go to Tokyo Disney World. That's why he got skipped in the leadership position. If you show people the advantages of Western civilization, of real capitalism, if you show them the benefits, the higher standard of living, if you show them how free markets can work, that's what they want. And that is what is going to provoke change. But as they're isolated and many of them ignorant of the outside world, they have no hope and they have no means when they are looking for their basic needs for subsistence. They can't even dream of overthrowing a government when they're completely parasitic to it. They rely on the government for rations for food. You know, they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. That's a whole nother matter. The point is, I'm very proud that potentially President Paul was on the media in Japan. That's a major thing. Most candidates in primaries aren't on the news in Japan. It shows Ron Paul's global presence. And this was reminiscent of Obama when he was running 3 years ago. He was on the news in Japan. However, I asked around, and most Japanese people, the average people, not political types, they couldn't tell you another name of anybody running. But likewise, no one in the U.S. could tell you the name of anybody in any Japanese primary who was running. So Ron Paul's the peace candidate. When they say he can't be elected because of his foreign policy, just look back. Barack Obama got elected because he fooled people into thinking that he was a peace candidate. And George Bush got selected because he fooled people into thinking he was a peace candidate. They all ran on change. They all ran on saying they were not going to be doing nation building, not going to be the policeman of the world, and not going to be going to war frivolously. Ron Paul's the real deal, and he has the record to back it up, unlike Obama, who as a senator voted to finance the war, voted to keep the Patriot Act, everything else nasty. Ron Paul is not bought and paid for by Goldman Sachs or any other corporate entity. His main financiers are the people. The bulk of his finances come directly from small donations in these money bombs, and the biggest factions donating to him are from the U.S. military, from the Air Force, the Army, and the Navy. That's who's supporting Ron Paul. Real people, real Americans. Paul's going to crush the debt and end the wars. That's the most important issues to me as a father. The debt is very scary. I fear for my little one. But I can tell you, with Ron Paul as president, the whole family will be coming back to the U.S.